So something I'm integrating right now is the discernment of when to use your voice and when to let your energy do the talking. And that's something that I've struggled with for a really long time because I am a very fluent communicator, both good, bad, and ugly. And I am very educated with words, and I can use them both potently and powerfully for the good or for the not so good. And I also, in combination with that, have, strong emotions, strong desires. And so when you combine a very articulate mind with very strong emotions and desires, it can be brutally challenging to discern when you should open your mouth, when you should stand up for yourself, how you should stand up for yourself, when you need to let quiet speak for itself, when you need to let your energy do the talking, where you direct it or your lack thereof attention to something. And so something I want to say to that is that I used to very personally struggle with these urges, like I gotta speak now, I have to talk about this now, I cannot wait. It's so the desire to speak, whether that's to argue, to plead, to voice clarity, or even channel, because a lot of times I had no idea what I was actually doing because I was dying to channel, which was often soothing for me, but incredibly triggering to whoever I was channeling towards, particularly my twin. And what I realized is those were just super strong egoic urges that I had, most of the time. Some of the time it was probably just my spirit telling me like, yo, you got to channel this now. Like you got to get it out of your body. You got to move this energy now or you're going to explode. And that's what it felt like to me. But now that I've started to deepen my connection to self and to God, what I've discovered is that I often still beg the question, how do I know if I need to speak up? Because if I don't, am I dishonoring myself? Am I disrespecting myself? Am I letting a situation go on longer than it needs to because I'm afraid to speak rather than leaning into I don't need to speak? And that's very relevant in my world in real time now, because my situation, my 3D reality looks like I need to speak up for myself. I need to, not so much demand, but I need to demand accountability from people. And I need to, assert myself is what my situation looks like. Or what anyone from the outside looking in might go, yeah, you really deserve to speak something or let somebody have a piece of your mind or, really push the situation into a different direction. But what I'm being asked to discern is that in my lack of conversation, via giving little to no attention at all to the situation and redirecting attention to myself and or things that bring me joy, contentment, purpose, what I'm realizing is that even if I don't know the answer in that moment of should I speak up, should I make a conversation about this, or should I lead with quiet energy, what I realized is that I'll still get my answer, because after the fact, if I don't feel peace, resolution, or feel like I made the right choice, I would feel worse. You know what I mean? Like if you realized at that point you should have spoken up or you should have said something, your body would tell you, your spirit would tell you, hey, like this feels grimy or the situation feels awful. You feel worse about yourself. Say anything, and now you can learn, unfortunately, but yet still learning in hindsight, that was when you needed to speak up. And so, yes, there is a bit of a learning curve, but what I'm discovering is that even in my wobbling of I don't know to speak up or I don't know if I should just shut up and keep going forward quietly, what I'm discovering is that more often than not, I feel better. I feel peace. I feel resolution. I feel a lack of conflict. And so for anybody out there, maybe like me, who constantly wonders, if you're a speaker or you feel called or you feel encouraged or like that your purpose is to speak or to communicate to others, and you're constantly asking yourself or putting yourself through this filter of when do I speak and when do I hold back, I would encourage you to tap in more closely to yourself and your body in learning that it will tell you even if it's in hindsight, when you should have spoken up or when you should have shut your mouth. Because the positive or negative emotions and sensations that come up in your body provide that barometer so that you can hone the experience in more discerningly as you go. And what I want to tell you as a bit of encouragement is that as I discover that even in the moment when I still don't necessarily have clarity or I still have doubt whether I should speak up or hold back or close my mouth and lead energetically, I know that I will be reassured of what I'm doing. I know that I can take assurance and trust in I'll continue to lead myself the right way, because even if it wasn't the right choice in the moment, my body, my spirit, everything will tell me, will nudge me, and I'll be able to course correct. So it's a deepening of trust in yourself, which in the very real moment you may not be able to find, but as you lean in and trust and trust and trust, you will discover that not only are you making the right choices in the now moment, but that if you did not, your body will still help you course correct, and you won't go down the wrong path. You won't get too far off track, and you won't make such a big mess out of anything that you can't course correct it. And so somebody needed to hear that reassurance today, because that is very much exactly what I'm going through now in my real-time moments of I don't necessarily have perfect discernment of when to speak up and when to hold back on my words, especially in relation to others. And I worry that in my closing my mouth, I'm doing myself a disservice or dishonor. But what I'm finding is that that's not the case. That's not what's happening. I'm letting things unfold. I'm letting things play out. And I'm not doing more harm to myself or others by leading with quiet energetics. And I can feel that difference. I can feel it in my body, in my spirit, in my field. I can feel that it is for the best, and it is not dishonoring or disrespecting who I am by holding back with words in this season of life.